Welcome to this week's video lecture in which we'll talk about mapping on point locations. A layer of point locations will most likely be the top layer of information that you display on your GIS map. The reason for this is very simple. It's because you need those locations displayed as points to show up on top of all your other layers. You can map any item that can be identified with XY coordinates. Customer addresses, store locations, accounts, competitor locations, potential accounts, existing accounts, salesperson addresses, hospitals, schools, government buildings. The list is endless. And for each of these items, you can map data that goes with the item. For example, on this map, you can easily see that these points that Google has placed on addresses are the top layer, because the point locations are not covered up by the land layer, which is probably states, the city name layer, the highway layer, or the background layer, which is the watercolor. Also, we can see that these points are all colored the same color. There's no data being displayed for these points except for their location on the map. On this map, we're also displaying point locations, but each is colored by a data value. In this case, these are hospitals, and the points are colored by the number of staffed beds at each hospital. There are 3 ranges. The lowest is light blue and the highest is dark blue. You can change the colors, the ranges, and the variables mapped on this map. You can also color by a text field value, so you can color by name. If you have a file of competitors, you can color each competitor a different color so that you can tell exactly who you're competing against in a specific area. So what must you have in a data file in order to put points on your GIS map? You must have one of the following items. If you have the address, you can geocode to put the point on the map. If you have the latitude and longitude, which many vendors provide with locations, the heavy lifting is done for you, and you can always map your points easily. Note that when you're bringing in points for the U.S., your longitude values will be negative because values west of the prime meridian in Greenwich, England, are negative. If all you have is a zip code, you can still map points, but they will all display in the center of the zip code, so it might be best to do this in cases where only one item exists per zip code. For example, if you were mapping sales associates' home offices, there might only be one instance per zip code because the sales territories might comprise several zip codes and salespeople live close to the center of their territory. Whether you are a retailer mapping stores or customers, or a territory manager mapping field reps, you'll map something with points. This week we'll get a little hands-on practice bringing in points to Google Maps and customizing how they display.